Have you ever been in a situation where you've come across someone, you've met somebody, and you really didn't like them at first? There was just something about them that just grind your gears or made you feel uncomfortable. But then as time went on, you actually became really good friends with them, or they even became your significant other. Today, we're going to be talking about don't judge a book by its cover. It's a super hot topic that's very important to talk about, especially in this new season. So let's enjoy this new episode of the Bump Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to season 2 of the Bump Podcast. I'm your host Shamir, here with my co-host and beloved brother Nabil.
Hey everybody, thank you for joining for the first episode of season 2.
Oh yes, thank you guys for the support. We love you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Also follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Thank you guys for everything. We are going to mention right now that we did 20 episodes on season 1. We're going to do the same thing for season 2.
That is the goal.
We are going to start off with our topic today, which is don't judge a book by its cover. But the reason for this topic is that we are building up this season with different guests on our podcast that are from different backgrounds.
Walk of life.
Yes, you know, we have different types of, we're going to talk about different types of religions. We're going to have politics involved. We're going to have just a little bit of everything, honestly.
And again, we're not trying to spook anybody, because I know for a fact with you mentioning religion and politics, people are like that. Those are the two topics no one talks about.
Yeah.
There's nothing to talk about there. On the contrary, there is a lot to talk about. And it's super important that we talk about it in a respectful manner, in a civilized manner, but also in a manner where we're breaking it down and explaining why people, kind of have just their belief system as it is, right?
Of course.
So that's why Shamir and I are bringing different people, again, within the realm of all that stuff. And again, because, right, we're a motivational podcast and a mental health podcast and anything to just kind of become a better version of ourselves than we were yesterday. We need to bring different people in who have different experiences and you know, especially people with a profession, with a particular degree in certain areas that involve heavily with mental health and just health in general. We thought it would be a great idea to be able to implement that in this season, and hopefully it'll help you guys be able to relate more and figure out whatever, you know, you would consider your own issues or stuff like that, or inner demons or what have you, how to be able to work through that rather than just staying in the same exact spot forever and ever because you decided to not really put in the work or the effort. Well, we're here to help you guys.
Yeah, of course.
And if you're here, then that means you are putting the effort and you are putting in the work and the time. And we thank you so much for that. And we just hope that we, throughout this season, get to help you even more so than what we did in season 1.
Sure, of course. And I want to start off with this saying, which says, so many assume, so little know.
Ooh.
I want to
dissect that.
Yeah, I want to hit him with a Mike Tyson real quick because it's a reality check. I have criticized people by just their looks. I have criticized people by their beliefs in the past. This is something that I struggled with a lot back in the day. I think it was just a young, immature mentality.
Days,
yeah, of course. Now it's a lot different. Now I give the opportunity and the benefit of the doubt to people. Even when it's like, for example, it could be somebody that did my brother wrong or whatever in a situation. I still will meet this person, willing to give them an opportunity, but that
is true.
That's, you know, that's just me, you know, doing a good deed, I guess, for that person to maybe prove themselves wrong, that they might have messed up with him, but they might become a better person from that mistake or whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, I try to just be the better person in a situation when it comes to those things. So we don't ever know. In my psychology class recently, we were talking about in a discussion how we never know the percentage of depression or anxiety people are going through because this is something that's internal in our brains. And if it's not expressed or through facial expressions, through conversations or topics or whatnot, we don't know about it. So that's,
and a lot of people can hide that easily,
very easily. And then that's the thing. So then we don't know who's struggling, who's going through a tough time in their life, or maybe a situation that day, and you caught them on the wrong day. For example, recently we went to Collecticon here in Orlando. I mean, if you're
wasn't
a
the greatest show,
right? It wasn't the greatest
us.
show off ripper. I mean, for the conventions we go to, you know,
it's just it didn't have our specific interest that we like.
Of course, and you know, for those who are collectors, definitely, if you collect cards or whatever, or
then that's the place for you.
Yes, that's the place to go. Cool, but we had an experience with one of the
let's go with
guests that were there that day.
Met,
yeah. Nabil in the past had good experiences with this person, but those were many years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Not even in recent years. It was 2 years ago.
Okay, but that's still years ago. What I'm trying to say is that between that time and what he was going through in that day or that month, you know what I'm saying?
Or even this year.
Or even this year, the beginning of this year, whatever. It was still a lapse of time that a lot of things could happen in his life.
Oh, yeah.
So at the beginning, the way he projected himself, he gave us a good handshake and a smile. But
how we're doing and everything.
Yeah, when we try to, what is it called?
We try to get ourselves out there and
right, and kind of like show him about the podcast and see if he wanted to be a guest on the podcast. He gave us a flat out no, like a terrible no. And it wasn't the him saying no, it's just the way he said it and then everything behind it. But then I went home that day, and ever since I've analyzed the situation again and again, and I'm just like, this guy, you know, a friend of ours told us that he was going through some mental issues or whatever that has been on social media or whatever. So
which we didn't know.
How could we? You know, we didn't treat him wrong when he said no. On the contrary, we were just like, okay, thanks, have a good day.
Yeah,
and we went on.
It was just kind of like an awkward, okay.
It was a very awkward situation. And then the other person that was another guest too, that we wanted for the podcast, we met her, and she was just very quick with the line. She was just being a bit ignorant because moving the line, and she didn't even have a huge line in comparison to things we've seen at other shows.
Correct.
Where it's like thousands of people in your line. You know what I'm saying? Like Hayden Christensen, for example. You know what I'm saying? That's a super long line. Yeah. And yes,
this person had maybe 20
people in your line, and you're rushing me. So, you know, on top of that, we're paying to see you, whether if it's through a photo op or a signature or autograph, whatever. You shouldn't treat people a certain way. But again, that's just expectations that we have.
Here's the way I see it. Someone like a Hayden Christensen does not have time to literally talk to everybody and stuff like that. And even still, he'll greet you with respect and make you feel good.
And that's crazy because it's like this is people that's way more famous, that have way more fan base, and make you feel that little bit of moment you have with them way better than a person that doesn't even have nowhere near that following.
Correct. And that's just the funny part of it, really, because that individual that we're mentioning now, like they were, like you said, rushing. That particular person acknowledged mainly him. You know, I went ahead and complimented them for you know, being a part of our childhood and stuff like that. Did not acknowledge me at all. It was nothing there. And I've had experiences like that. Whatever. It is what it is. And I get over it pretty quickly. But that one was that particular show just stung for us because it was just like one bust after the next.
Yeah.
And it was just like, wow.
And on top of that, we
sucked.
took our cousin that we ain't seen in a very long time. We'll be like, yo, these conventions are awesome. I can't wait for you to go.
I mean, he said he enjoyed himself, but we're just like, but listen, there's way better out there.
Oh, of course. So,
and we're not on a rant here, though. It all ties together. We haven't gotten off track. But.
So my point of all of this is that people can go through different situations and life circumstances, whether they're famous or not. So you shouldn't judge them by that. You should just deal with the situation accordingly instead of being mad at a no or being mad at their attitude or how they're treating you. Again, it's like one of our episodes from our past season, which was expectations. We cannot set the standard so high or any standard at all sometimes on people because we don't know how they're feeling that day. We should go more with an open mind of, hey, how you doing? And just let the rest happen as it goes.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And I'm trying to say that we should train our minds to do these things where we're mentally prepared before the battle or the war happens, or just a clean slate through, you know what I'm saying, where it's just everything is cool, whether if it's rolling smooth or not, we should be prepared for both situations. Again,
and it goes back to the actual meaning of this, which I should have said earlier, but I just
go ahead. Yeah,
we were in the conversation, right? Meaning of don't judge a book by its cover is you shouldn't judge someone or something based only on what you see on the outside or only what you perceive without knowing the full situation. And that, I mean, that relates exactly to our experience at the convention.
Yeah.
But continue.
And honestly, I had another meaning which is very similar to what Nabil said. It's a metaphor. Don't judge a book by its cover, but the phrase means that one should not judge the worth or value of something or someone by their outward appearance alone. Again, I have met phenomenal people that probably look maybe like nerds, probably look like they're from the hood, that they look like they're on dope when they're not. Just different types of looks, if we're talking about the outward appearance.
Looks or even like mannerisms.
You know, and that when you come to see the world that is inside their brain is just way more broad, way more intelligent and respectful than a lot of people that look like, wow, this might be a wonderful person because they look good, because they have this car or they're this successful. Again, that's another thing too. Social media nowadays, you can see, I know this guy that has been in all types of luxurious cars, right? And he posts that on his Instagram because he rents them, but it's not his cars.
I think I have seen this person.
Yes, and he was on an episode on Vice TV of, you know, him showing that he rents these cars or whatever. But this guy's not rich. He does not have money like that. And again, it's just appearances. Anybody driving,
so it's a facade. He's pretending he's living that lifestyle, but in reality, he's
not.
He's probably working at Walmart or something.
I don't know, but you know, at the end of the day, the guy is just putting on a show that maybe a lot of people think that he's making that money. Wow, this guy's doing well in life, and he's got a lot of followers. Okay, cool, no problem, no hate towards that. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is that appearances are never what it seems to be, because an appearance on the outside is one thing, and what's internal and what's really going on in their life behind these pictures, videos, and social media is a total different thing.
Yes.
So I'm just building up perspectives of different situations when it comes to judging a book by its cover. Again, we could go as simple as actually reading a book.
Yeah,
we said it in one of the last episodes too about that. That book over there looks like girly colors and stuff, but it's got great content in the table of contents. You know, it's just these things that we have to learn to train ourselves. This is another saying I actually have here, which is train your mind to see something good in everything. This is an exercise I try to do constantly, because it is scientifically proven that us by nature, because we have survival mode in our brains, we look for the negative in things and see what's wrong in something before we see what's good in it. And sometimes that's the wrong mindset to have in a lot of situations when you're trying to.
I definitely suffer from that. I definitely suffer from that, from a lot of bad experiences. For me personally, and so that's something I am trying to work on, daily. But it is something. Like you said, it's just that thing. It's that I don't want to say fight or flight, but it is that defense mechanism where it's just like, this might not work out because of this and this or this, but it's just like, no, but look at it from the bright side. Would it bring you joy? Would it bring you happiness? Would it bring some sort of meaning to your life? Yeah. And that's the perspective we have to kind of look at certain things. I mean, you got to be realistic sometimes too about things, but on the flip side, sometimes you have to look at it and see what are the pros versus the cons, and not just stick with the cons. Yeah.
And, at the end of the day, this is something I posted yesterday on Instagram of working out, where I said, it starts with one day to change a habit into a new habit, but it also takes a day at a time in order to continue the habit. And I said that because it's with everything, whether if it's working out, it's a mindset, habit, whatever, you have to start with just one day and not worry about, oh man, but you know, I want to have this amazing body in 3-4 months, but it's just going to be a drag to get there. It's going to be hard. Again,
Yeah.
you know, it's a lot of things, but we have to train our minds to figure things out in life in order to succeed and to progress. Because to me, one of the most successful things any human being could have is a correct mindset when it comes to tough situations. Not, you know, the good, anybody could be through the good and celebrate the good, but what about the bad or the not so good?
Yeah.
You know,
basically.
Again. And so, you know, at the end of the day, that's just how I look at things when it comes to judging a book by its cover. Do I still judge a person every here and now and then through some sample? We're not perfect. We say this in every podcast. We are not perfect. We all have flaws. And go ahead.
No, it just made me think. it's kind of, it's silly in a messed up kind of way, I guess. But like, we were at church the other day.
Oh Lord.
Right. We were at church the other day, and I'm in it. You know, I'm in the worship music and whatever. And then I have somebody, actually both people that were standing next to me. I'm not going to call them out like that, but the person to my right goes, yo, what's up with that guy that was like a few rows in front of us or whatever?
Sweet baby G's.
And I didn't know that. He had a unique style or whatever, but I didn't pay attention to it because, again, I was just focused on the music and the worshiping and whatnot. And the dude had literally, I mean, he's a huge Michael Jackson fan, clearly. Okay. Right? Because he had like the sparkly, shiny suit going on, had a nice little hat like that or whatever. And then out of nowhere, when that person's pointing them out to me, you know, he lifts up his hands to worship, and he has a Michael Jackson glove on too. Oh, the white glove with the sparklers on it or whatever. So I just start giggling or whatever. And then the person to my left goes, yo, what's up? Why is Michael Jackson here at church?
Oh my
I just start giggling or whatever. And he's like, I want to steal that Michael Jackson glove. I'm like, yo, let the boy enjoy himself and just worship. Like, y'all are making me laugh and making me lose focus. Stop judging him. And the dude was in it. But then I just kept watching him, and he just kind of kept looking around. I'm sure he must have seen people might have like made fun of him. So he took off the entire outfit.
Wow.
And he just had like a black shirt or whatever. And then he had to put it all back on once we were all leaving or whatever. But like, I hate when we do that sometimes is my point. Yeah. It's funny in the moment and I get it. And
of course.
We do it. People do it to us. It's just a thing. But the important thing is try to catch yourself and see if it's, you know, what if it does? What if that person does catch you making fun of them or whatever? Like how they're feeling about it. You know, their confidence level is like, you know, I'm feeling good about myself. You know, I'm representing Michael Jackson because he's just he was a phenomenal artist, literally one of his own kind. Like no one's been able to be like him. People have replicated his work and stuff, but no one will ever be Michael Jackson except for him. God rest his soul. So, you know, the dude probably could have lost interest in dressing up like that because you know people were making fun of him. Yeah, I mean
that's a terrible place to make fun of a person.
Well, you know, but I mean, and I'm not trying to make the church look even worse than what people make it out to be. The point is that it's just you could go to church and judge people. You could go to school, and that's always an issue at school too. Because I know I used to get made fun of by the way I either brushed my hair. And back in the day, it was just spiky because Dad always wanted us to have the hair just like his, or the way you dress or whatever shoes you got. Yeah, it's just a whole thing, I guess.
Yeah, and
work on that, my friends. Work on that.
Something I'm trying to work on now, and I've been hitting it quite strong is comment box on social media, whether Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. Because there's a lot of people that are very quick to judge on whatever they see in a video or whatever. And it's just like, bro, like...
And they don't even finish the videos.
No, they just go straight to what they saw and whatever lit
Any
them up
YouTuber will tell you that.
Yeah.
Any YouTuber will tell you that.
It's crazy. It's just like, bro, like you don't... like us here on Bump Podcast, for example. This is just a portion of us. But you guys do not know us. And you could judge us Sure. I mean, that's just your personal opinion, and I guess it's respected. And if it's a disrespect, then it's not respected, but we're not going to treat you the same way you're treating us because we are not you, you know? But at the end of the day, I'm practicing on, you know, it's sad to see how a lot of people just bash, you know, content creators and whatnot, or politicians, or just anybody in society that's successful, because that's the thing.
Or just doing something. They don't necessarily have to be successful. Just attempting to do something.
Yeah, something.
And you're just like, oh, you suck. You're ugly. Should you be doing this? I don't think, you know.
But you know what? I've came to understand that most of these people, I would say 98% of the people that do comment negative things are the people that are sitting at home not doing a damn thing for their life.
Doing anything.
They're not positive. They are maybe pessimistic people.
Probably just used to the typical routine that they have.
If they even have one, because they probably don't even know what that word means.
Sad but true. There's a lot of people like that.
And I'm shooting at you guys because I want you guys to better your lives as well. This is not something
our platform's for. Yeah,
it's not bashing people in a negative way. It's bashing you guys so you guys could come to reality.
Not even bashing. You're not bashing. What you're doing is calling their attention and waking them up and making them alert, like, hey, I'm talking to you because we want you to do something. Because like if we decided not to do anything, we wouldn't be doing this podcast. We wouldn't be talking about our experiences.
Right.
You know,
that's very true, because I mean, that's another thing I wanted to bring up too, was, you know, we are actually doing things as opposed to the people that criticize. You guys are just criticizing instead of going out there, instead of worrying about Bump Podcast. If you're going to watch Bump Podcast to criticize it, or any podcast and criticize it, you're wasting your time when you can use that precious time. If you're so smart and intelligent, you should use that time to build something for yourself. You don't want to be a millionaire? That's fine. You don't want to be a content creator? That's fine. You don't want to be whatever, but do something that makes you happy. That is not criticizing, because criticizing and just being a troll on social media all damn day long, that is not, I don't care who you are on the planet, but you are not a person that is...
You're not contributing to society.
To nothing.
Not contributing. Yeah. You're right.
And if you don't even care about society, because I understand the people that are not law-abiding citizens, for example, that don't care about what society thinks, that's fine. But... that's still not productive, as opposed to doing all types of other things if you're going to be not a law-abiding citizen. You get what I'm saying? But anyways, just don't judge people for what you see on 1 or 2 videos. You know what I'm saying? And same thing with like,
not even that. Sometimes I feel like we judge people. Let's say in the work environment, we judge people just because they rub us the wrong way. Or maybe they don't know how to treat us right at work and stuff like that. But then you meet them outside, and they're a totally different person.
Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of people.
And I say that because at our previous job, we had a lot of toxic people. Mm-hmm. But when we're all under pressure, the nasty side of us comes out.
Yeah,
and that's what we're quick to judge, because you're under pressure, I'm under pressure. And we're butting heads because of it, instead of trying to find a solution together and work towards it, and just and people tend to become selfish and all that other stuff. But then you meet them when you're calm, when everybody's calm, when everybody's feeling good or whatever, and you're like, wow, this is night and day.
Yeah.
Why can't we keep this consistent? You know, I actually didn't like you, but now I really do. Mm-hmm. It was in that workplace that we were at where I actually left. By the time I left, I should say, I realized how many people I actually cared about and love still to this day. And I didn't think I would.
Right.
I didn't even think I'd like them at all. Mm-hmm. On the contrary, like, I got to know them a lot of times on the slower moments and whatnot, or even outside of work. And I was just like, wow, this is a fantastic person to talk to. Mm-hmm. Now I know why they're this way. So now I can approach them differently.
So do you feel like those experiences have made you not judge people that more
Judge
often?
Me. Obviously, I can't say that I don't judge people. That'd be a lie. I think everybody...
No, I'm just saying, like, you've bettered yourself on not to be so quick to judge. That's what I'm saying.
I do my best to, is what I can say currently. Like, it just depends the situation. You know, I try not to judge. I try to really read the person first, feel them out, engage with them. If they're just not interested in talking, well, I feel like my inner judgment, your actions are speaking for it.
Right.
You seem like you don't want to talk, or you just seem like I'm not worth your time. Well, okay.
I think that's a good point too. I think that a lot of people don't understand that their actions also do bring people to judgment sometimes.
Yep.
And that's something that I would applaud in a way of, if you are coming to conclusions instead of, I guess judging is probably not the word, but coming to conclusions on a person based off their actions, and you constantly see it. Let's say if you're at school, at church, at work, at work, or wherever you're at on the street, wherever. You see this on a constant basis, and you continue to see the same actions. Well, brother or sister, I'm going to conclusions because of this. So if I don't talk to you for some reason, I mean, you let's say we have mutual friends, and a person will say hello to the mutual friend, but not you. You get what I'm saying? That makes you kind of see where their mindset is at. They're just thinking you're painting on the wall. You get what I'm saying?
That right there, I always find unprofessional, because Dad always taught us that, like, if you're talking to so and so, whatever, and I know you, but I don't know that other person. Hey, how you doing? Acknowledge that other person. You're
still acknowledging them, whether they're you know them or not.
It's respect. It's courtesy. Right, like, honestly. It's just common sense. You know.
And if you want to be like that, by all means. Again, I always bring the good and the bad. Nabil and I bring the good and the bad here, but that's why I say, hey, if you want to do it, by all means, do it. But we're trying to make our lives and other people's lives see different perspectives. Yeah. So if you want to continue to be that ignorant person that doesn't say hello, or that you don't acknowledge, just know that's disrespectful, and in a big way, because if people were paintings on a wall, then shoot, this whole world is a art gallery, honestly, at this point, because you know how many times people do that?
An art gallery. I like that. Mm-hmm. That's good. Yeah. But me being a part of the acting and production world, right? Mm-hmm. It's even more important that you're kind and respectful and loving towards everyone, because you don't know if your homie that you went up to and said hi and greeted them and all that other stuff, and you ignored the other person. You don't know if that other person is going to help you elevate to where you want to get to
a whole nother level. And you just messed it up.
And you and then let's say that was a casting director. In my case,
sure,
that was a casting director. I just completely ignored, like I farted and walked away, right?
Yeah.
And then I actually go in and audition for them, and then wait, this guy's familiar. Oh, this is so and so. They were at the party. Okay, cool. Well, that person remembers that you did not greet them.
Yeah.
So they're like, all right, let's see what you got. Or they'll just be like, next. Well, wait. What do you mean next? Why next? I haven't even gone.
You see, but I just feel like a lot of people play the unconscious paper, or not unconscious, the subconscious paper, and a lot of things, and act like, okay, like recently I had a good friend of mine, he presented his girlfriend to me recently, and I had seen this person at one of my homies' funerals.
Oh.
And she was just acting like she never seen me before and everything. And when she greeted me, gave me a hug and everything, like, hey, how you doing? This and that. I'm like, bro, like, are you gonna act like we didn't see each other
way back when?
At that gathering or whatever, and you just acted like, well, whatever, you know. Like he tried to present me to you that time and you didn't care, but now you know, like, hey, I'm the guy that's doing the podcast and doing good things, big things. Now you're, oh yeah, okay, cool, boom. But again, they judged me by my cover. Perfectly fine. Hey, you know, I don't mind you judging me, but I just know that I'll say, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Act like the same way you're acting in a way, but I'm not gonna treat you with disrespect. But at the same time, you blew the tires.
Yeah,
off the car. Now we're not going nowhere because I see where you're at. You know what I'm saying? And I see what you're capable of doing.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So I draw conclusions upon your actions. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people are judged by the appearance.
Yeah.
And all the other things instead of like, let's get to meet this person. Let's give them an opportunity. And then we go by, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I mentioned earlier and off ripper, like, okay, it could be a friend of yours that did you wrong, but I'll still give them the benefit of the doubt and the opportunity because that's just who I am. I'm not betraying you. It's just like, I'm not gonna, because of your conclusions. Now that's got to be mine. That makes no sense.
And it depends the occasion, because sometimes,
and I understand, like for example, like in the street back in the day, where your loyalty has to land one side or the other, can't be both, because then you have a lot of issues. That I understand, and maybe some loyalty towards family or friends. I understand that, but there's a lot of situations where I just let it slide. Anyways, do you have anything else to say?
I feel like we've covered a lot of it pretty well and pretty straightforward. And, you know, if it seemed a little ranty, we didn't mean for it to be a rant, but more so just clarifying our perspectives. Again, Shamir was the one that brought up this particular topic when we were kind of deciding what topics to talk about for the opener of this season, because the amount of guests that we're going to have coming on, from, again, all different walks of life, different backgrounds, or similar, you know, as well. And it's super important. You know, you may not be interested in the particular topic that we're talking about in that particular episode, but give it a listen and just see where that person's coming from. Again, we're also trying to make our episodes a little bit shorter for, you know, different reasons and whatnot, conveniences for you guys, more than anything. But to be able to just knock out more episodes in a timely manner, and just get the conversation going rather than just maybe dragging it out. We don't want to drag it out more than it needs to. And if the particular topic does call for an extension of time, then we'll do that, because we don't want to cut it if it's really hot, you know? But we just wanted to get that out there. So thank you.
And so I'm gonna leave you guys with this quote real quick. It
Quote
says,
us up.
Beware of the half truth. You may have gotten hold of the wrong half. So
yes,
always remember, sometimes what a person might tell you about another person is erroneous, false, might be wrong. That's what I'm saying. You have to be able to sometimes give people opportunities, whether they deserve it or not. You know, but that shows a lot about you as a person, that you are willing to give opportunity. Again, give this podcast an opportunity. If you like it, great. If you don't, hey, keep it moving. It's perfectly fine. There's a million other podcasts out there, and hopefully you find the one that's right for you.
Absolutely.
When it comes to positivity.
And that's our hope.
Yeah. Again, whether we have whatever background they come from as a guest on a podcast, and you don't like it and you want to stop following us or whatever, hey, you are in all the will to do what you want to do. We are doing things for a positive manner, and
that's all it is.
Trying to push positivity in society. And we know we're going to have a decent following and people that actually like this movement. So we are going to appreciate everybody's support and everybody's feedback as well. Yes. So again, like, comment, and subscribe on our videos. And just give us a thumbs up always, the thumbs down. We left the last season in the explanation of what we believe about thumbs downs.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah. And we love you guys. Thank you again. And it'll be until next time.
No, it will not be until next time.
Oh, the Ringle.
Oh, he caught it.
We almost left last season with Ringle Dingle Dingle. The Ringle Dingle Dingle. Turn on the notification.
Man, I started to sweat and everything.
Turn on the notification button so you guys know what time it is when we upload on Wednesdays.
That's correct.
After 5 or 6 o'clock, usually it's about 6 o'clock.
So you can have a wonderful dinner and listen to this podcast or watch it.
Exactly. Or if you're leaving work and you're on the highway, you can bump to us. Get it? Bump to us.
I want to see what you did there.
Yeah, you like that. Anyways, you can listen to us and put the volume up and just enjoy the show. So again, thank you guys for tuning in on this very first episode of season 2. I almost said season 1.
No, season
2. And we'll see you next time. Take care, guys. Have a great day.
See you guys.